Welcome to the lost episode of the EVERBLACK podcast. And on this show, we have Phil Demmel from Vio-lence, who'll be touring the country with Sacred Reich for one hell of a thrash tour. Now, I did this interview last year, but for some reason the file completely disappeared. I thought it was lost forever, but here we are, and it's just popped up again, which is an absolute miracle technology, right? Phil and I spoke about him hitting the road with Vio-lence again, and him filling in for Gary Holt with Slayer, leaving Machine Head and the effect that had on him, being a young metal grandpa like myself, and of course what he's got cooking up for the future. Really great dude, and had a blast talking to him. And you can catch Sacred Reich and Vio-lence on tour this July, kicking off on Tuesday the 7th in Canberra at the Basement, Wednesday the 8th of July in Brisbane at the Outpost, Thursday the 9th of July in Melbourne at Max Watts, Friday the 10th of July in Sydney at CROWBAR, Saturday 11th of July in Adelaide at the Enigma. All tickets are on sale now through hardlinemedia.net, and there are meet and greet packages available as well. All right, before we go into this episode, we just need to give a shout out to our good friends at Blacklight Art Design, who are our go-to for all our screen printing needs. They do shirts, hats, patches, you name it. If you can wear it, they can print it. They've done all our shirts and hats for EVERBLACK Media. Great guys. Go check them out at www.blacklightad.com.au. Show is also brought to you by good friends at RW Promotion, who are the best in the biz when it comes to stickers, flyers, banners, badges, and all other promo you need for your band or your business. They also do massive signage and car wraps as well. Awesome stuff. www.rwpromotion.com.au. Also want to take a moment to shout out our friends at the awesome occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who are just absolutely kicking ass right now. The designs that they're coming out with are phenomenal. They're about to drop this new one called Bloodsucker, which I believe is done by the same artist who did my favorite Electric Witch shirt, the Death Dealer shirt, and you can get your own from www.electricwitch.com.au, and if you put in the code EVERBLACK20, that'll give you 20% off your entire order. Shout out to Matt from Dark Cell, who is the mastermind behind Electric Witch, and really appreciate that discount code for our listeners too, man. I can't wait to chuck that in and get the new Bloodsucker shirt. It's rad. Don't forget to subscribe to the EVERBLACK podcast through iTunes Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, YouTube, and Facebook, and check out all our reviews and articles at www.everblackmedia.com. Like us on all our socials and swing us a message. We love saying hi to you guys. All right, here is my chat with Phil Demmel from Vio-lence. Catch them on tour with Sacred Reich very, very soon. Get your tickets now. Horns high. Enjoy. Phil, thanks so much for joining us on the show. It's much appreciated, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for calling.
Well, news dropped that Vio-lence and Sacred Reich will be teaming up for a tour here in February, and people just lost their minds, man. Was that all part of the plan since the band reunited, or was that something that sort of just came up recently out of the blue and you guys jumped at?
No, we were only going to just try to do a show. Sean had been sick, and so we were going to do one show, then it sold out quick. It turned into two, and then McLean he had joined Sacred Reich. He said, hey, we should do a couple shows, and so they put us on some of the West Coast shows, and the LA show sold in a day, and it was a lot of fun. And so we've been getting some offers and just kind of taking it easy, trying to play like once a month and just do a weekend here. And then this thing came up with the possibility of we love the Sacred dudes. I think it's a good match, and going there and just because it won't be too long, but it wasn't the plan. This is all just kind of the roller coaster is just kind of getting some steam here. So we're just trying to be realistic in what we do and trying to keep it as in-house as we can and try to not get too carried away. But most importantly, try not to get too full of ourselves like we did the first time around. Enjoy it and enjoy each other.
That's definitely what's important, is enjoy, as long as you're enjoying it and you guys are enjoying each other's company and jamming together, and it's good for the fans too.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you playing Eternal Nightmare in full on this run?
I don't know. I'm not sure what we're doing. We have done it on a couple of shows. I think we're going to do it in Belgium. And if that's the consensus, it just seems like that seems to be the record, and it's only 7 tunes, and it's, totally doable. They're all pretty fast. It's just not a lot of dynamics going on. So we need to mix in some oppressing songs, but it's possible.
Awesome, man. To my understanding, that the band reformed to play benefit for Sean a while back, and now he's back on his feet. Who made the call to sort of bring it back again and tour and make it a more regular jam?
Well, there was a thing called the Killian on Command show,
yes.
And it was put on by a bunch of locals, and all the local bands got together. We're playing violent songs, and we eventually got the 4 of us to play one song. We ended the show, and it was a big surprise. We weren't announced to be going to play, and a lot of people didn't know. This was in 2017 of January, I think, and Sean was in bad health. He was looking really gaunt, and it was pretty shocking. And fast forward a year, I quit Machine Head. I did a brief thing in Slayer. He texted me early January. Not even a year has passed since he's all, I want to do a show. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like violence?
Yeah.
And he's all, yeah. And he reached out to me about doing it. I was free of, all the restraints that I had in Machine Head. And so I just wanted to make sure that he was healthy enough and he'd thought it through before we started doing that. So we reached out to all the dudes, who was in that last incantation of the band. We booked a show, sold out in hours. We booked another show, sold out in minutes. And we figured we had lightning in a bottle, so we need to catch it. And he had about 3 months to get ready and get his strength up, and he did, man. We were rehearsing, and his voice was great. So, it was just about memorizing lyrics and everybody getting there. And I'd been playing for the past 16 years. The other dudes really hadn't been. So getting them up to speed. And in the meantime, Dean has had a carpal tunnel surgery done like a month ago. And so we're old dudes, man.
That's awesome, man.
We're good to go. We got shows booked on the weekends all over the world, and it's fun.
Dave McLean is back in Sacred, as we mentioned before, behind the kit, and you obviously worked with him for many, many years. How does it feel hitting the road with him and not being in the same band, being able to sort of stand side of stage and appreciate what he's done from an audience perspective? How's that?
It's pretty cool. We've kept in pretty close touch, and he's played in my cover band called the Merkins. Me and my wife and my high school buddies, we just play 80s cover tunes. We play Bon Jovi and Journey and AC/DC and Foreigner, and he'll come up and we'll jam some Guns N' Roses, and so we've stayed in pretty close touch. We'll probably end up doing some original music together at some point. So I'm touring with, I do a little tour with Metal Allegiance, and we stop through Phoenix, and Dave's there, and Sacred plays, and I play independent with him, and so it's cool to hop on stage and play with Dave in that sense again of just having, we're playing independent for God's sakes, and I think that he was kind of the catalyst of maybe reaching out, putting us on the West Coast Sacred shows in LA and Phoenix, and we've always kept in touch. We've always wanted to just kind of jam covers or just jam whatever, and with no drama and no weird agenda attached to it. Just two dudes from the, two 80s kids who just want to play fucking music. And so touring together, it's gonna be crazy.
I love hearing that you're still brave. That's awesome. After all these years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Also, you mentioned before, obviously, you filled in for Slayer as well. That would have been just a real trip, man. You've known those dudes for years, though. But how was that? Filling in there for Gary?
It was literally, less than 24 hours. I quit Machine Head on a Saturday night. I came home. My wife she got all fucked up at our show, was throwing up, and get home. And finally you're home, you're out of that band. You're going to be home for a bit. I get a text from Kerry King, and I kind of dropped the phone. Next day, still in bed from the night prior. Next day, and hey, do you think you could learn 19 songs and be out here in 2 days?
Oh, shit.
Pretty crazy. But it's like, they're the reason why I play heavy music. I've always loved the band. It was unfortunate circumstances because of Gary's father.
Of course.
I went through the same thing back in 2007 where I left the tour after my father had passed already, and guys had filled in for me on the Black Crusade tour. And so it was kind of a full circle thing coming around. You know, one of the grandfathers of thrash, you know, Gary Holt, playing in the original, you know, thrash band, and me getting the call. It just really, I've said it a bunch, but I'll say it again. I think that it saved my musical career, or saved at least maybe my confidence or my belief in myself that I still had some worth in this industry after, you know, quite possibly thinking that I could be done, or I wasn't worth being in a band, or so. I thank all those dudes for doing that. And since then, a bunch of things have happened, and you know, it's just, you know, when you go through a divorce, you think that, you know, hey, must be a piece of shit. And along comes the right combination to make you feel like you're not. So it was a very gratifying moment.
Well, I believe in you, bro. And there's about 10,000 million people on this planet that do as well. That's not even a real number, is it?
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know,
you, man.
not good with numbers.
Yeah.
The point is, man, like, you got a lot of supporters, man, and people love what you do, and we're so damn excited to see you down here in Australia, that's for sure. And another thing is I love seeing your posts online about your family and being a young grandfather. I'm a young grandfather myself, who's also musically active.
Right.
Man, I just find it really awesome, you know, that the perception of being a grandparent has changed drastically, especially that it seems cool now that it's not some 80-year-old dude in a retirement home, you know, hard of hearing.
Right.
It's just, you know. That's it. I mean, I love it, man. It's definitely awesome. I mean, you must love it as well.
Yeah, you know, it's the situation, not really the traditional route. I didn't find out about my daughter Elise until like 2013, and she's going to be 32. She'll be 32 this year, but I didn't, you know, first 25 years of her life, I didn't know that she was, that it, you know, just under circumstances, I just was unaware of having this daughter. And so she came into my life like, hey, you know, I think you're my dad. So we figured it out, and she had 2 kids at the time, and has had 2 more in the interim, and we've got this great relationship. And they live in Hawaii, so it's not, I can't really see them that often, but we keep in touch and see them when we can. So pretty awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. And I did like the one about what was harder, Marty Friedman's solo or putting the socks on a 3-year-old. Got to say, the 3-year-old, brother. 3-year-old. Yeah. Like, solo's not going to kick you in the face and scream at you, right? Yeah, I know that one.
Oh, man, you know. Yeah, I'm doing something later on this year, and I've got to learn that lead, that Tornado of Souls lead, and it's so hard, and Marty is so good, you know. Yeah. And I was doing both kind of at the same time, where it's like I'm learning this, and then I had to go and do that. It's just like, fuck, man, this is more difficult at this point.
Can you spill the beans on that one? What's that going on later in the year?
You know, it's not formally been announced yet, and I kind of want to wait until we get more of a go ahead. And it's pretty much confirmed, but I want to wait for the formal release on that. So some people are kind of having dates leaked, so need to wait on that. Sorry.
Okay, that's all good. So, of course, are you planning on recording some more stuff with Vio-lence, or what's in the future for you, bro?
You know, it's man, that's a hard one right now. I've got so much going on. I've never been busier, you know, with as in terms of volume, you know, of different things. Machine has kept me pretty busy doing the same stuff, but this is all just kind of, you know, pop in over here and do this. I just did this super cool thing over the weekend with Mike Portnoy and Bobby Blitz and Mark Mingy, who are in the Metal Allegiance camp. It's not a Metal Allegiance thing. It's a record we're going to do, and I'm not going to say what it is, but I've got that going on. I've got some Jackson clinics coming up in the UK. I've got this other thing going on that we just talked about. Going on. You know, I want to record some original stuff at some point, and so it's just fun to be busy. It's fun. It's, you know, it's nice to be liked and wanted.
Absolutely, man, and I can't wait to see what you got cooking up next, especially with that Marty Freeman thing. that'll be cool to see that. He's going to be down here too. Funny enough, like he's going to be touring here too.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, it's
awesome.
like it's going to be sick, man. You guys.
His other guitar player is Jordan Ziff, I want to say.
I think so.
The other guitar player he has with him he's playing in Rat right now, and he's got awesome rock and roll hair, and he just rips, man. Marty's the man, but this Jordan kid is just so fucking good.
I can't wait to see it, man. But I can't wait to actually see you guys. Like, that's going to be sick.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm so excited, man. That's Brisbane 7 at the Triffid, which is an amazing venue. So that's going to be sick, man. I can't wait to see you boys.
No idea. We're looking forward to it, man.
Thanks for taking the time, bro, and I'll see you then.
Where are you going? Are you in Brisbane?
Yeah, Brisbane, yeah.
All right. We'll see you there.
See you there, bro. Thank you.
All right, Nev. Take care.